Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon S&P 500 Gold and Bitcoin podcast for April 22nd going into the 23rd. Going to start off with the S&P 500. Tomorrow has a high likelihood of seeing range expansion. We've been bullish overall from 3502. We've seen 3,683.75 points into this bull trend. A lot of other bullish calls in here on the higher time frames and middle time frames I won't go over. On the lower time frame, we held exhaustion down below at 63.53 and a quarter, and it bounced 832.5. Trade above 64.8175 to 83.50. I said projected this upward 125 points plus. We've attained 702.25, and then the trade above 65.6650 warned of continued strength likely for 245 plus. We've seen 619.25 of that so far. Decent trade below 70.85 will warrant decent pressure for 100 points plus. And the maintained gap lower will leave a minor bearish formation above. And the gold. Kind of a quiet inside day today. Tomorrow has a high likelihood of seeing range expansion. I'm not going to go over all this higher time frame stuff. I would say we held exhaustion at 56.1920 with a 56.2680 high and rolled over 1,526.8. That is off hold. Number of other lower time frame calls in here. We held exhaustion at 49.1610 with a 49.1770 high and rolled over 231.9. And I said, if this is a bearish correction, the minimum target is 46.5380 down here. So we have not quite gotten there yet. Then the trade below 48.1850 projects us downward 45 minimum, 320 max. We've seen 132.7 of that. That max is going to be shaved a little bit. The trade below 48.1850 projects us downward 45 minimum, 320 max. And we've seen 100. Sorry, I just said that. I skipped the line here. The trade below 47.9230 projects us downward 75 minimum, 320 plus maximum. We've attained 106.5 of that. That'll also be shaved slightly tomorrow. If we break above this formation right here, which is going to come in at 47.6230 minus 17 per hour, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That's going to warrant decent strength. Break above there decently and back down through it decently. Look for decent pressure to come in. Decent trade below 46.9480 plus 3.3 per hour will warn of decent pressure. We break below there decently and back up through it decently. Look for decent short cover to come in. And the Bitcoin, I'm not going to go over all the higher time frame stuff in here. The trade above 65.585 has brought in strength up to 79.600. We have a number of other bullish calls in here I won't go over right now. Failure back below 78.545. They start to bring in pressure. Decent trade below 76.625 plus 34 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That'll warrant decent pressure. Break below there decently and back up through it decently. Look for decent short covering to come in. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you on tomorrow's podcast.